Alright, everyone, we are going to be going live real soon. Before we hit the box, though, we're going to have a little codename Strike Force breakdown / discussion. We have a Joe Mag update. So we got some cool things. Everyone, we are live. Big announcement. One of the AKA Patters, one of the Wildstormers, having a baby. So congrats to Wildstorm Addiction. And hey, everyone in the chat, are you guys ready? We got look, you guys already know, right? We got a full box here, but you guys want to see a sign, like a sign of the Armageddon? My tracking number here, it ends in 69. So that's one of the signs of the apocalypse. Yeah, I'm a little perturbed. I just made the biggest, dumbest mistake in one of my sketchbooks. I'll show you guys. This is my March of Robots sketchbook, and I kind of wanted to do it a little bit looser. Because I was also working on like the Turtles one, and that was like super detailed. But I wanted this to kind of be loose and do some cool things. So, and I'm very much behind on this, but I'm still making good progress. But if we get to day 12 here, say we have day 10, we have Chappie, underrated movie by the way. We have day 11, Bender. And then we have day 13, and right, 11, no 12. So I'm gonna have like 2 13s, I guess. I don't know. I gotta figure out a way to fix this. So I don't know. I'm so annoyed. By myself. So real quick, before we get into the Brett Booth, before we get into all of this. I want to make a point because something I just picked these up over the weekend. I paid $3 for these 4 books, and the guy included a dealer incentive codename Strike Force. I believe you had to order 300 copies to get one of these. So like they're a little bit rare. They are. So I get this. and I always liked Backlash more than Wildcats. I always liked Strike Force more than Cyber Force. Just because the characters, I think the characters are just a little bit better that operate around Striker than the Cyber Force guys. And I realized something as I was reading this. So this book technically is from the Wildstorm heritage. It's Homage Studios at this point. There was no split. Mark Silvestri and his crew, they split. They become Top Cow. And then Jim Lee's basically crew becomes Wildstorm Productions, and each one becomes like a completely separate company. So we're going in, right there. Wildstorm Addiction, congratulations, buddy. So I was rereading this, and something really stood out because I make a lot of comments about the villains of Wildstorm. And I would say for villains in this time in general, when it comes to comics, okay? Here's our bad guy. One of my observations is that the villains are very hard, and we'll see this with some of the covers from Backlash alone. But the villains are so hard to separate from the heroes, other than when they look completely this is to me almost like a Disney villain because he's all purple. So many of the Disney villains have purple in them. Purple's the color of evil. So I'm reading this, and the villain's good. Hell's Pont in Wildcats is good. There's a bunch of similarities, and I realized something. See, these books are good. These books are readable. And I think what they're all missing is a writer, is someone conditioned to write, okay? Like a veteran writing comics. Everything else, it's hard to really pinpoint. But I think the writers not coming up with villains' origins and being able to write a bio or a whole history and then hand it off to the artist and see what they come up with, and then incorporating that into a script and a story. That's the blaring bleeding hurt when it comes to a lot of these earlier books. Now, a lot of it goes away, but the process of incorporating villains into the story is something not too many of these younger Image comics had figured out. I think it's worse than the lateness because your heroes are always measured against the villain, period. It's tough, but I do recommend Codename Strike Force a lot. I really do. Look at these colors by Joe Chido, right? We did a Twitter episode on him. A lot of those are going to become available on and through my website, just so you guys know. But yeah, we got some really, really strong artwork here. I really the artwork here. I thought was as good as Cyber Force. So let's get to our second bonus content. Uncanny X-Men 317. At this time, this is the biggest issue Joe Madura ever drew. And we have this emerging Joe here when it comes to his style. He still has some of his Arthur Adams in him. It's going to take him a few more issues, but he is going to fully become the Joe that we know. But his paneling, especially kind of like this spread here, the way how he knows, his instincts, even though it doesn't look like it, he centers the figures, he controls the vocal point, and he kind of does these backgrounds that are a little bit negative space, a lot of negative space with these backgrounds, but your eye knows exactly where you go every single time. His instincts even at this early juncture, it's decent stuff, everyone. I mean, look, I love this panel here. The boat, very economical, but nice double page, double cover here. So, got Skull Diamond in the house. Cheers, Skull Diamond. I hear you've been making some money. So here we go. I mean, this is a pretty sizable box. 22 issues. No duplicates of Backlash. This was a deal I worked out with someone that I've done business with a few other times. Oh, we got some packing peanuts. Wow, really nice and well packed. I gotta tell some of these guys that I don't care too much, like, about the condition of the books that they come in, and they can kind of, save themselves some packing material. So here we go. Look at this. Look at the quality that this is wrapped in. Holy crap! Whoa, people! Look at that. Look at this. This is insane. Very, very smart packaging. Like, reusing. I love when I see dealers like triple using some of their materials. So we got issue 31 right here blaring at us. Yeah, so a part of this too, a part of the tease. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. Got quick error messages, but yeah, it's so ironic that we have Backlash later, Wildcore, and then are we still muted? Let's see here. No, we're not muted, are we? I think we're good. Okay, everyone, we're good. Okay, yeah. Thanks. Yes. Here we go. Look, here we go. Technical updates happening right now. We're good. Thank you so much. We're good. Thanks, Skull Diamond. Yeah. So this is why this is ironic. Okay. Issue 31. We have Backlash facing off with Wildcats. This is Jim Lee's co-created character. Okay, like Jim Lee's not totally behind Backlash. This is Jim Lee's character. Like, you kind of have to say Backlash is cooler than Grifter, and the two of them are trying to do the same thing. Backlash has a better colorway. He's got Spider-Man poses. He's got side whips. Grifter, weird color combinations. Okay, he's Christmas. He's red with the green. Sometimes red, orange, blonde hair. We don't really know. So it's very ironic. It's so ironic that these two are facing off. So let's just get into some of these. We'll put these in order. So keep in mind, like, we see Brett Booth's name a lot, but this is almost like the Sean Ruffner show. We have Richard Friend. He's available right now on YouTube. Someone go find Richard Friend's Twitter and put it in the comments if available, because I've been trying to track him down. He has a pretty good YouTube channel. So we got 26, we got 24. So let's just show off a little bit of the non. Okay, I mean, look, the illustrative power of this is it's good of anything else out there on the market today. This is one of the better looking books, period, of the time that this came out. Okay. But Wildstorm was shifting and becoming more of a, we can get books done on time house. 2006. So this is a little bit of what I would consider the fall of Wildstorm. It really is, because Wildstorm got so good with putting out books. Like people want a Jim Lee style when it comes to Wildstorm. They really do. But Kirby here, really, his work. It's Yavin Kirby, right? His work, though, and the inking for this is just it's immaculate. It's awesome. But see, this is what we want, though. This is the Wildstorm style. So, in my opinion, when we get to these later issues, Wildstorm pretty much betrays itself. Look at this effing. Look at the 15 cover. But see what I mean? Hero, hero, hero. It's really hard to know who the villains are. This cover 15, though, is mighty. Taboo here, another good cover. So I get this is becoming right here. This is 12. 12 is becoming the new favorite cover for everyone. But again, who are the good guys and who are the bad guys? But this dude with the dreads is so freaking cool. I mean, I think everyone is. But we even had this issue. If you go back and go through our Divine Right broadcast, Divine Right too, it's hard to really know who's who. And I think a writer would have been able to define some of this for the company. Classic cover here. I love falling covers. There's a G.I. Joe cover. It might have been G.I. Joe 15 or 16. It's a John Byrne cover, and it's Clutch falling into his hometown. And it goes, the cover reads, Clutch goes home the hard way. It's one of my all-time favorite covers. But here we go. All right. We got 2 issue ones here. Nice. We got the alternate covers. But this is the Backlash we want. So when the book evolves into this, right, I'm not saying that there's not an artistry and expertise here. There 1,000% is. There's a consistency, all of it. But we want this style. We really do. And some of that even hurt Marvel when the Image guys left. Because the Image guys defined the look and feel of Marvel Comics at the time. And Marvel had no answer when they left. And I feel like Jim Lee did that to himself. So real quick, though, everyone. These, the guy emailed me and told me that he included these in the box. Just because, we have a good relationship. We do a lot of business. And he knew I was looking for these. The Backlash Spider-Man. I mean, here we go. Look at Venom and Pike here. People, if this isn't an audition to eventually take over this title, I'm not sure what Marvel's doing, because Brett Booth had a window. He definitely was available at one time. I mean, he's making the Dane Jurgens, Ben Reilly designed Spider-Man costume work. And at one time, this was blasphemous. You never went away from the Ditko design, even during this time. But this crossover, we're going to be doing full-on detail when it comes to this crossover. Okay, page by page, panel by panel. This is what I believe to be Brett Booth's absolute best work at this time. When we did Kindred, okay, Kindred led to this. because he does a lot of things when it comes to paneling. He look, like you can just see he moves the camera around. I mean, typical opening here, like really sweet stuff. He moves the camera around in such a natural, and I even say too, like sometimes aggressive way. Dude, look, Venom and Pike going at it. Right, I mean, we got good stuff here. Look, Johnny Blaze. Too, and this is like right when Heroes Reborn happened. Like everything was Wildstorm for a really good stretch. It really was. Look at all of this. I mean, just by that, we can kind of know the story. Brett Booth's storytelling, even to this day, has grown. It's getting better and better. Yeah, no, Reed, you're 1,000%. I mean, look, I don't want to keep ragging on it, but if we look, I think Backlash ends with issue 33. Okay, so let's just do like the blind opening, right? Okay, this splash page doesn't. Oh, okay, we got some great ships here, but okay, here we go. Right, we got our hero. And then, like, let's get like our hero, like like essentially our two hero introductions of these two books. It's just not quite there. But at this point, though, Wildstorm's entire objective at this point. It was a capability statement. They were showing the entire industry that they can crank out multiple books, multiple imprints consistently with the top talent. And I don't know, like Kirby's got to be doing something because he's too good to kind of fade away. He's not a Wildstorm style. Yeah, look, continued next month in the final issue of Backlash. So 32 is the final issue, RIP. But I really want to have a look at these first few issues here. So let's just get some of the Kirby stuff out of the way. We gotta get the Kirby stuff out. So we'll get 21. We'll start with 21. All right. So you're out. We don't just put that over there. That doesn't mean we're not going to go back to it. But I just like this spread. These guys don't want more voodoo. Yeah. Reed, you're cracking me up, dude. But yeah, so look. Here's the other cool thing. So everybody wants to say that the Image guys were arguing. Like their egos, and they're not doing these things. At this point, let's go into the year. This is 94, I believe. 94, okay? So by 94, every single major Image comic has had multiple Image crossovers and references within themselves. So of the Image 7, there's a clear Image universe emerging. And they're I would say at that point their egos like destroyed everything, but they were very committed to showing off their characters in a straight up universe. So let's just go through issue 1 here, and hopefully you remember a little bit what you just saw with Backlash Spider-Man, and tell me, oh, sweet Scott. Look at Scott Clark, dude. Scott Clark was, at this point, he was like Jim Lee 2.0. I said this during the Stormwatch video, but Brett Booth still has to come into his own. Like we have just like simple like measurements and profile errors here. All his shots are like they're facing you. He's not rotating the camera. When he does, it's maybe like a silhouette. But you would say in all, look, we have the origin of Taboo here, like really cool stuff. But in all, you would still say this is like a satisfying like outing. It's a satisfying venture. See, like we all know that these are. How would we know these are the villains? How would you know? I mean, somewhat. Look, Dragon's not easy to draw. Okay. Nick Mainbat, we've seen him a lot with the Wildstorm trading cards. Incredible use of the blacks. Again, look, we're at this like ballroom scene, right? But we don't have much of an establishing shot if we go back, right? Like there's not much of a setup, but all of a sudden we're in like it looks like we have Emp here from Wildcats. But we don't know where we are. Like seeing the scene, this book looks like it's in the same room. And here we go. And we have the formation of later what would become Wild Core. So even during this, so after issue 32, we get 10 more issues of Wild Core. So when it comes to really filling in like some runs and some blanks, we have DV8, Wild Core, and issue 2 through like 22 of Deathblow. So like those three titles are like my true holes at this point. Look, Savage Dragon's in issue 3 and he's not even on the cover. Like, how cool is that? You know, like this is where when it comes to creating like indie comics, look, this is what from Wildcats 6 or 7. He's like riffing Jim Lee like right there. Popmon. Popmon was one of Wildstorm's best acquisitions. 1,000%. He's still in the game today. Here we go. Sizing him up. So look. So Backlash is almost the same size, or the exact same size as Savage Dragon. And look, this is one of the things. Backlash is so freaking cool because he has a little bit of that Wolverine attitude. Like he's always willing to fight. He doesn't take smack, and he always wants to prove himself, and he will eventually always get the upper hand. And here, like he's going toe to toe with Dragon. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, we're 3 issues in, and it's pretty good so far. Just wanted just on the storytelling standpoint. There you go. Taboo just rips out his heart. So Grifter one shot wasn't enough. Grifter goes monthly in May. So I got Grifter volumes 1 and 2 also. Really impressed with that because Steve Seagal really comes into his own in that, and Ryan Benjamin too. I don't have the one shot. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out what the order was. But this is still Wildstorm. Like it's still Image. We have these insane. I love panel page constructions like this, though. I really do. It's cool stuff. But we're still in like the 90s here, everyone. We're just like rocking and rolling. I love the middle of the page pinups too, like the middle of the book pinups. And look, like everything was Gen 13 for Wildstorm. Gen 13, in a way, put that company like absolutely like on the map. Look, we have Wildstorm Rising getting previewed here. Issue 6, crossover with Wetworks. So already in his first 6 issues, he's crossing over with Savage Dragon for 2 issues, and then he is on with Wetworks. We have Coda here, Wildcat's villain. So Pike has, I guess Pike is really his top villain at this point. Really cool. And then we have Wildstorm Rising. So even during this, I mean, the ambition of Wildstorm Productions, I mean, they understood the importance of crossovers when it comes to keep maintaining a company schedule. Yeah, like moving books. Now, here we go. Who do we have drawing this? Melvin Ruby, Brett Booth is pages 8 through 14, Dane Norton 5 through 12. So this is a little bit what you would call, here we go, we're in the Brett Booth zone. This is a little bit what you would call like a inventory issue, but this is what I mean about Wildstorm not curating enough of the house style, because the 3 artists here are easily, like, we can figure out who's who. And yeah, it shouldn't be that easy, because Wildstorm had a style, and if they didn't have a style, they wouldn't constantly use what you would consider like their house style in all their advertising. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, let's just like blindly, let's just go into the Wildstorm Rising crossover issue and see like how quickly we get some of that energy. Because here are some of the things he does that I absolutely love. Okay. He's, you know, like the falling leaves, which was somewhat of an image trope. Always smoke. Hair's like always kind of like flopping. This is also Diva from Stormwatch. Oh my god. Look at, here we go. We got Wetworks and Wildcats. Oh my god. Okay, look at the villains though. Super cool stuff. How close is this to the classic Jim Lee Batman and Superman poses for the for Hush? But see, like, and here we go. See, like, give Brett Booth things to draw. Okay, plasma coming out from the hand, the plasma whips, the slime from the Demon Knight. Oh, dude, crossovers are such a tough thing. So, I mean, nearly the entire Wildstorm universe appeared in this issue alone. Crossovers really can be done. Look at this taboo, though. Holy crap. I love that green background. Taboo and Dingo. And Dingo ate your baby. So this is a Dane Norton issue. Brett Booth is credited for story. It's a nice fair fill-in. It's good. But this is, again, like, when you got this style, you really should let your anchors come in and, you know, like, quote unquote, make it Wildstorm. I would say when it comes to like editorial, yeah, on an editorial standpoint, it's you gotta direct the inkers at that point, like not the pencilers, but the inkers, the people finishing the work. So now we have Melvin Ruby here, advertised as the previous issue as a hot new talent. It's like, I mean, he's dynamic. Like, you know, this again, good issue, good storytelling. It's hard to tell the locations, especially look these last couple pages, because we're kind of at a county fair, maybe like Coney Island, and then there's like a tree, and then there's no background, and then 0 back. You know, like that's on him. That's bad storytelling there. You should pull the camera away at one point to show off the environment. And you know what, too? Probably would save time when it comes to deadline time. Considering the panel-to-panel flow of your story and doing what's necessary, believe it or not, takes time. So we got someone clip the coupon here. I love it. The expandable superhero collectible card game. I never got into it. It's hard for me to play card games. So here, everyone, real quick too. Anyone out there that has the Gru trading cards from Wildstorm, reach out to me. We will come to a price. I'll pay for shipping. I'll pay for any additional material. But let me know, okay? Because this is high on my list when it comes to Wildstorm products. Jeff Rebner here. This dingo guy too is really coming through. So this is how cool of a shot is this? Like the aircraft's blowing up. He's got his little like plasma baton, his laser batons, like completely blowing the thing up. Really cool stuff. Like Wildstorm did hit a stride in being. It was like the sci-fi for Wildstorm works so well. It just works. Like it works in the Jim Lee style. So here we go. The big issue 12. What works? Chromium trading cards. I've been 50-50 on getting a box of these. So there you go. Here we look at this. Good work here, everyone. Brett Booth has had maybe 2 to 3 months off at this point. And it shows because it's good. Dynamic, great action. It's just like sometimes it's like you have like a couple pages. It's like close, medium shot. Like everything's medium. And then when he finally pulls the camera away, it's literally one page of pulling the camera away. It's just a little bit, you know, like this is why some of it's frustrating. And here too, like we have a gag being worked in here, and it's not quite there. I mean, like it's there. Is it too many panels? That's the real question. It's a good exercise to try. Yeah, I mean, like that's a good exercise. See if you can get page 27 of issue 12 into less panels. Bravo, though. I mean, really nice comeback issue there. Really nice comeback issue. And then here we go. We got Ruffner, Booth, and Gibson like leading the charge. Really nice. I mean, there's a lot happening here. We're in Egypt, and again, too, his establishing shots are not his environments. They're still not there. So I love turning the book sideways. I mean, like let printed comics never go away, dude. Really pushing the card game hard, really hard. The Max trading card set 2 is high on my list. Just because we all love the Max, and just seeing the Wildstorm guys like going at it. Cybernary, probably their biggest misstep, right? I mean, they had momentum with Cybernary. Insanely cool. Cybernary 2 was 50% of Deathblow #1. So some of these, all of these later ones, just so everyone knows, this is really my first time going through them, seeing them, looking at them. It's a great headshot there. Great. Look at that. See, this is what I mean about environments. I mean, we know exactly where we are. We know exactly what we're doing. We're just using grids here. Who is Ruffner Booth pencils? Yeah, Ruby. The truth is revealed. Once they were Backlash's closest friend, now they're his worst enemies. Backlash for Stormwash. Backlash 17 and 18. So that's the next two issues. So this Dane Ruby guy he's legit. Great storyteller here. See, like far, medium, far, close. Like there is somewhat of an instinctual combination. So strike back right here. I'm curious about this one too. Team 7, Black Ops. Black Ops is low on my list at this time. Really nice though. I mean, this is a well-drawn issue. Inking, you should let the inkers just make that a little bit more into a Wildstorm book. So we got 17 here. I don't think we have 18, right? We really don't have 18. Not a big deal. I got a couple other issues in my box. I may actually have 18. Awesome I just hate having this for a first page though. Look at these pages. Backing away. We got more Ruby here, but nice. Very nice. Wildstorm coming in hot. I mean, we have things in here. He does do some of these like Brett Booth isms with the hair. The Fire from Heaven stuff too. I guess there was multiple Prelude books. Maybe of the villains. So like this is kind of good. Like Ruby kind of almost feels like he fits more into Chaos Comics than Wildstorm. Woof. Look at that printing. Definitely a talent, but inks. Yeah, I mean, you gotta let your inkers make this into Wildstorm art. Yeah, that doesn't take Mel Ruby like completely off the hook though. So we can kind of, so we got like 17, 18, and we can move, like, I guess we can call it, so it's basically Brett Booth, Mel Ruby, and then Yavin, right? Yavin Kirby. So we got 24 here. I mean, like, these are insanely well constructed books here at this point. What could lead to the cancellation is not enough happening. Maybe, I don't know. Like, you know, like you really would have to go through these books and discover, you know, like try and find a little bit of a baseline of the appeal. Like, where does the appeal fall off? Like, why? You know, and that's the constructive criticism that I think is missing so much from comics right now, or even when you analyze a run, because we are in a different era of Wildstorm at this point. I mean, this is more like there's too much manga in this, right? We can kind of agree with that. Too much manga. But look at Ryan Benjamin just killing it on Grifter right now. But again, like Kirby's getting work because he's consistent. He's maintaining the ship. There is a certain level of revenue still coming in from Backlash that funds other projects and ideas. Here we go. We discussed this right here. Wildstorm Spotlight #1, the Mr. Majestic Alan Moore issue. So we got 21 here. We're kind of going back and forth. So post Stormwatch crossover. Yeah, I mean they do make it's a stylistic choice, which is maybe not the best. I just don't think there's enough happening in these issues. I think it looks like it's too much melodrama. Two things trying to be too cute. But everyone, like, no joke, we're going to go pretty hard into both of these. Because Backlash Spider-Man next to Silver Age, Wildcats X-Men Silver Age, and Backlash Spider-Man are probably your top 2 Wildstorm crossovers. There's there's some good grifter stuff. All the grifter ones are pretty solid, by the way. But we will be. Yeah, I mean, I almost like. I feel like I gotta like just flip through this again because it's just too ridiculously good. But I kind of want to go through this. I want to take some story notes, and I don't know. I think we should all just like hang out and have a love fest of this crossover. Because it's also part Heroes Reborn crossover too, which makes it even like a little bit more special and unique. But there's a grifter mask. That's my one dark spot when it comes to the crossovers. Maybe Gen 13, Fantastic Four 2, the Kevin Maguire drawn one. A little bit of a dark spot there. I'm slowly recollecting all of the crossovers. So, we're just going to do like a general, look at this. Venom. Taboo Venom. Insanely good stuff. No, I'm sorry. That's a Pike Venom. Oh, too good, though. I said taboo. I don't know why. But, like I want us to do a general review, too, of the Wildstorm crossovers. Okay? Because that's significant, too, when it comes to Wildstorm's history. But everyone, this went on for an hour. I thought this was going to be a 20-minute video. I love you. Everyone out there. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, but it's also, too, that, like, real quick, too. I'll say it again. Brett Booth sells the Dane Jurgens design for the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. It's so confusing. This era of Webhead is so freaking confusing. But that's why I love it. And you know what? I will say this. Can we curse the colorists here for doing your color holds and completely making the detailed Brett Booth 90s moon disappear? Anyway, everyone, thanks for hanging out. Until next week, next Wildstorm Wednesday. Tomorrow, we should be doing some Jim Lee trading cards. Yeah, he really does. I mean, he just gets better and better. And yeah, I mean, Brett Booth was young enough in the industry to, there's so much to monitor and to catalog with him, which is awesome. But we're going to be doing Brett Booth all the way up until his initial Marvel run, and then we're going to back away from him. So everyone, hey, thanks for hanging out.